Hello, this is Scrapping Amy with One Mommy Scrapping, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for Let's Get Messy Wednesday, and I am going to be using some stamping and watercolors today. This was a challenge for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, so if challenges like this interest you, let me know and I can give you information about joining that kit club. And also, if you like videos like this, seeing scrapbook pages that come together with more mistakes than one probably should make and a little bit of humor, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and press the bell so you're notified whenever I make a video. So the collection I'm using today is Urban Prairie by Basic Grey. It is one of my favorite Basic Grey collections. It's an old one. Obviously anything by Basic Grey is old since they're not around anymore right now. But the photo I'm using I felt worked well. I wanted to use something with a yellow background. This is the very first rehearsal for our school musical this year, which is Beauty and the Beast, hence why I wanted the yellow to match Belle's ball gown. And my daughter is actually in the cast for the very first time. So this is exciting for me to be able to finally have her actually participate. She's helped a lot behind the scenes lately, or the past few years, but she actually gets to be on the stage now. I am using this Stencil Pal, Stencil Buddy. I saw Simon Hurley use it for some cards and was floored, and I had to get it. It's very expensive. I will leave a link down below to scrapbook.com. But I was really surprised with how quickly and evenly the clear gesso applied to the background of the paper. It was an absolute dream. So I highly suggest, if you like to do gessoed backgrounds or like to do stencils, get one of these. They actually come in two in a pack. The paintbrush tool I have right there is from Prima. It is basically a silicone brush, and I just used it to dip the clear gesso out, obviously, and then cleaned it right up. So now that we are getting into the actual creation of the page, I am going to go ahead and speed the video up just a smidge more. Alright, so now it is time to make some layers. I wanted to pull something that had some of the yellow in it, and I really liked that bird paper that you see right there. I didn't like that some of the birds were upside down, but I ended up with how I ended up placing the photo. The upside down ones are not very visible, whereas the right side up ones are. So that tends to work very well. And I forgot to mention, I have post-it notes over the faces of other people in that photo because it is a school photo and I'm a teacher at that school. I don't feel comfortable putting other students' faces on my social media. So just my daughter. Now I have pulled out, I went to town with old stuff, and that's what I'm going to try to be doing a lot more in 2020, is using up some of those older things that I have that I've kept for forever and haven't even opened up for the most part. And so I've pulled out some of these making memory things. I think these stickers and trims are from 2007, if I remember correctly. So we're talking like ancient history here. But this wide, excuse me, this wide ribbon is a great match, and that's what covers up the heads of those upside down birds. So you can see like their bellies and tails, but without the full bird picture, it's hard to really understand what they are. Right now I'm waiting for my gesso to dry because, oh my goodness, it was, I'm impatient with wet media. So I am looking for, I know somewhere in my stash, I have the word adventure by Chamel, and I cannot find it. I ended up finding it a few hours after I filmed this video. Of course, that's how it goes. But I kept going through going, I know I have the word adventure. I know I do. So I'm trying to choose what to do, and I end up going again with some old supplies. So I'm right now looking for the word the, and everything I pull out seems to not have an E. But my title is going to be The Adventure Begins, so I needed two E's. This is a mini market set of stickers from October Afternoon. How I miss that company. But the problem with this particular set of them is that they were cut crooked, so their boxes are really, the letters are actually almost coming off the left side of the box. for the word adventure, which is so hard to see on screen. You can see it just fine in person. But the word adventure, I am using these Making Memory letter stickers from 2008. I can't remember what the name of this line was, but they had a green, blue, red, and brown like sections of stuff. And I ended up pulling the blue in a little bit later with some metal clips. Now I've started putting the word adventure, and I glued them down with my art glitter glue. Now I love my art glitter glue because when it dries, it is dried. It is in there. You are not moving it. Unfortunately, it is dried, it is in there, and I'm not moving it, and that's a problem because I run out of the room for the word adventure. So I end up having to like kind of stagger in my letters a little more creatively as I get to the end of the word adventure. I'm using my Memento ink, which is a great ink. I love it. However, I realized, and you'll see it in a little bit, when I started putting the watercolor down, I grabbed the wrong black ink pad. I have 2 black ink pads in my little bin next to me that I use all the time, and I picked the one that is for safe with Copic markers, not with watercolor. So if you're going to use watercolor, do not use the Memento ink pad. It's just not working. The wooden stamp that I used, I picked up from, I want to say Michael's many years ago. I just picked it up because I like it. I use it as a decor piece for the most part. I only have 4 wooden stamps, and one of them's music notes and the other one is script. Now I'm trying to patiently wait for the ink to dry on my background so I can go ahead and do the watercolor for it, so I can go ahead and start getting all of this stuff down. So I'm trying to like build but not be too permanent, if that makes sense, on how I'm doing it. Here are some of those other clips. The blue one, I know the collection was called Poolside, at least that color part of it was called Poolside. All right, with a little bit of cleaning up, it is time to resume the layout building. So now I'm pulling through some stickers. This is what I like, is to pull some of my really old stuff and then pull some of my new stuff. So this is She's Magic by Dear Lizzy, some of their cardstock stickers. I liked the iridescent finish on there. It felt really good to be able to include some newer stuff with the older stuff. So the large sticker I added up by that metal clip says Collect Beautiful Moments. And then the yellow sticker I have by the journaling box says Magical. And now I'm pulling in some of Paige Evans' Truly Grateful puffy phrase stickers. Or phrase stickers, I guess. And again, I like the fact that that old stuff and the new stuff really do go so well together. Just kind of dotting them on. And I keep going back to that butterfly, and the butterfly ends up actually not even going there. And you'll see that. Finally, my background is dry, so I've pulled out my watercolors. I will leave a link to these watercolors down below. I put that little dot of ink on top of the notes because I was trying to see if it would bleed, and it did. And I'm like, well, there's really not much I can do about it now. So I'm kind of just dotting some watercolor and using the packaging technique to kind of spread it out and make it a little splotchy. And the packaging technique sometimes works really well for me and sometimes it doesn't. I end up cutting off the corner of the packaging so it wasn't so big, because I think that was my problem. It ends up bleeding quite a bit over in that bottom corner. And one thing I wish I had done more of is had layered it more, because the bottom part when it dried is very faded, but I still think it looks good. Alright, so after another quick cleanup and a blast with the heat gun to make sure that the watercolor is dry, it is time to get paper down on the background. And of course, I have to peel stuff up because it's not a layout by me if I'm not ripping things up. That vine-looking paper obviously isn't big enough to go across, but it doesn't matter. No one's going to see the middle part, and so no one actually knows that there's this huge gap unless they watch the video. So congratulations, you know my secret. I put that light blue piece, which wasn't a plan, in there up at the top right because there was a second or third generation stamping that I did with the music notes that was crooked and it just bugged me. Couldn't handle it. This is about the time that I realized that the word adventure is not going to actually fit. I make it work. I try to stagger it. It's downhill slightly. Fits. It's not my favorite, unfortunately. So let's now finally get that butterfly that I pulled so very long ago on there. I use a little bit of the liquid glue to put underneath the body portion of it, and then the wings are up on foam dots so it looks like it's kind of taking flight. I definitely need some more of these beautiful iridescent hearts from the Dear Lizzy sheet, including, I decided to add in a little bit by the word adventure and use this yellow flower on foam to give it a little bit of height. Just a few more little sprinkles, and then also some sprinkles from the Paige Evans Truly Grateful puffy stickers. All right, and now Nuvo drop time, finally my favorite. I'm using the Nuvo crystal drops today in Dandelion Yellow, Carnation Pink, and Calming Aqua. You'll see at one point I mess up with the Calming Aqua. I actually wipe it off with my finger. As long as it hasn't started drying and it's not a dark color on a light color paper, you can usually remove it without too many people actually seeing it. You have to look for it in that layout. So I am wrapping it up. Close-ups are coming up next. If you like videos like this, then I encourage you to please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button, and join me for lots of scrappy fun. Have a lovely day. Bye!